Hello Army everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss news that's absolutely mind-blowing and has fans all over the world unable to sit still. So, in a recently released interview, BTS Jimin finally revealed details about the concept of his third album that he's currently preparing, and guys, the information he shared really has us all excited beyond words for what's coming. Before we dive into all these exciting details, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any updates about upcoming Jimin projects. Trust me, after hearing about this third album concept, you'll definitely be counting down every single day until the release date. Okay, so let's start with the most shocking revelation. It turns out, Jimin has already started conceptualizing and even writing for his third album since before he entered military service. He used his time wisely, planning the artistic direction and collecting ideas for a project he describes as his most ambitious and personal work to date. And what's most exciting is that his vision for this album is completely different from both Face and Muse. The first thing Jimin revealed is the overall theme of the third album. If Face explored darkness and struggle, and Muse was about searching for connection and inspiration, this third album will focus on the theme of rebirth, transformation, and finding peace with yourself. It's about coming full circle, understanding your journey, and embracing both light and darkness as integral parts of who you are. Jimin describes this concept as the culmination of everything he learned through his first two solo albums. He wants to create a body of work that reflects the maturity, wisdom, and acceptance that comes from going through hardships and emerging stronger. The album will be deeply introspective but also ultimately hopeful and empowering. What makes this concept even more intriguing is the musical direction Jimin is planning to explore. He hinted about incorporating live instrumentation more extensively, potentially working with a full orchestra for certain tracks. He's interested in blending traditional Korean musical elements with contemporary production techniques, creating a sound that's uniquely his own while honoring his cultural roots. Jimin also revealed that he's been studying various music genres extensively to prepare for this album. From jazz improvisation to classical composition, from R&B vocal techniques to experimental electronic music, he's expanding his musical vocabulary to create something truly innovative. This dedication to musical education shows his serious commitment as an artist. The storytelling aspect of the third album will apparently be more explicit and cohesive than previous works. Jimin mentioned wanting to create a narrative arc that listeners can follow from the first track to the last, creating an almost cinematic experience through music. Each song will represent a different chapter in the journey of self-discovery and transformation. Collaboration-wise, Jimin dropped several exciting hints. He's been in discussions with international artists from various genres, including some musicians that fans would never expect. He emphasized that he's choosing collaborators based purely on artistic compatibility and shared vision, not just for commercial appeal or name recognition. What's particularly exciting is the revelation about his increased involvement in the production process. For the third album, Jimin wants to take on more production responsibilities, working closely with producers but also contributing his own ideas about arrangement, sound design, and overall sonic direction. This hands-on approach will make the album an even more personal representation of his artistic vision. Vocally, Jimin shared that he's been working extensively on expanding his capabilities. He's exploring different vocal techniques, experimenting with various styles, and pushing the boundaries of what he thinks his voice can do. Expect to hear vocal performances that showcase range and versatility we haven't fully experienced in his previous work. The visual concept for the third album sounds absolutely breathtaking. Jimin described wanting to create an immersive visual world that complements the musical content. He's been collecting visual references, working with creative directors, and developing an aesthetic he describes as a blend of ethereal beauty with raw, grounded authenticity. Performance aspects will also be a major focus for this album. Jimin is planning innovative stage presentations that go beyond traditional concert performances. He's thinking about how to create experiences for audiences that engage multiple senses and create lasting emotional impact. This ambition shows his evolution not just as a musician but as a complete performing artist. Lyrically, the third album will apparently feature Jimin's most personal writing yet. He's been journaling extensively, documenting thoughts and feelings throughout his military service period and beyond. These personal reflections will form the foundation for lyrical content that promises to be deeply honest and relatable. The timeline for this album is what makes everything even more exciting. Based on what Jimin shared, pre-production work is already quite advanced. Once he completes his military obligations and reunites with BTS for group activities, he's planning to dedicate focused time to completing the album. The target release is potentially in late 2025 or early 2026, though he emphasized that artistic quality will always take priority over a strict timeline. Jimin also discussed his approach to songwriting for this album. He's been collaborating with various songwriters, but also challenging himself to write more independently. Some tracks will be entirely self-written, representing his most personal statements as a songwriter and artist. This creative independence marks a significant evolution in his artistic journey. Technology and innovation will play an interesting role in album production. Jimin mentioned interest in exploring cutting-edge production techniques, potentially incorporating AI-assisted elements in creative ways, while maintaining the human emotional core of the music. He's curious about how technology can enhance rather than replace human artistry. The cultural elements Jimin is planning to incorporate sound fascinating. He wants to honor Korean musical heritage while creating something contemporary and globally accessible. This might include traditional instruments, Korean poetic traditions and lyrics, or references to Korean philosophy and aesthetics. It's about cultural pride expressed through a modern artistic lens. Fan involvement is something Jimin is thinking carefully about. While maintaining artistic control, he's considering ways to meaningfully engage ARMY in the creative process. This might include fan input on certain decisions, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, or interactive elements that make fans feel connected to the album's creation. The album length and structure are still being finalized, but Jimin hinted about the possibility of a more extensive project than previous albums. He's thinking about creating a complete artistic statement that might include interludes, spoken word pieces, or experimental tracks that add depth to the overall narrative. Mental and emotional preparation for this album has been an ongoing process. Jimin acknowledged that creating deeply personal work requires being in the right headspace. Military service, time for reflection, and distance from constant public scrutiny have actually helped him gain clarity about what he wants to express. Business considerations are being balanced with artistic integrity. While Jimin understands the commercial realities of the music industry, he's committed to not compromising his artistic vision for the sake of chart performance or mainstream appeal. He trusts that authentic, quality work will ultimately resonate with audiences. The support system for album creation will include both familiar collaborators and new voices. Jimin values continuity with people who understand his artistic sensibilities, but also recognizes the importance of fresh perspectives that can challenge him creatively. This balance will ensure both comfort and growth in the creative process. Recording locations are being carefully considered. Jimin mentioned wanting to record in various environments that contribute to different emotional qualities of the songs. From professional studios to more unconventional spaces, locations will be chosen based on what best serves each song's character. The mixing and mastering approach for the third album will apparently push technical boundaries. Jimin is working with some of the industry's most innovative audio engineers to create a sonic experience that's both technically excellent and emotionally impactful. He wants the album to sound amazing on any listening device, from professional systems to phone speakers. Marketing and promotion strategies are being thoughtfully developed. Rather than a traditional promotional cycle, Jimin is considering more innovative approaches to introducing the album to the world. This might include unconventional release patterns, unique visual campaigns, or interactive experiences that build anticipation organically. Personal growth goals are intertwined with album creation. Jimin sees this project not just as an artistic endeavor but also as an opportunity to continue developing as a person and artist. The challenges he's setting for himself will push him to evolve in meaningful ways. The relationship between this album and potential future BTS group work is something Jimin is thinking about. He wants his solo work to complement rather than compete with group activities. Both aspects of his career feed into each other, creating a richer, more diverse artistic portfolio. Documentary or behind-the-scenes content about album creation is definitely being considered. Jimin recognizes that fans are interested not just in the finished product but also in the journey of creation. Sharing this process can deepen the connection with the audience and provide insight into the artistic process. Live performance plans for the album are already being conceptualized. Jimin is thinking about how the songs will translate to the stage, what kind of concert experience he wants to create, and how to deliver performances that do justice to the recorded material while adding new dimensions in a live setting. The legacy he hopes to create with the third album is about more than just commercial success. Jimin wants to contribute something meaningful to music, something that might inspire other artists, something that helps listeners in their own journeys. It's about creating art that matters beyond the moment. Looking at the trajectory from Face to Muse to what's coming with the third album, we can see a clear artistic evolution. Each album represents a different chapter, different emotional state, different level of artistic maturity. Together, they create a narrative of growth that is itself an inspiring story. So Army, are you as excited as I am about Jimin's third album? Everything he's shared about the concept, musical direction, and artistic ambitions sounds absolutely incredible. We're witnessing an artist who continuously pushes himself, who refuses to rest on previous successes, who's always striving to create something meaningful and authentic. The wait for this album might test our patience, but based on everything Jimin revealed, it's going to be worth every single day of anticipation. He's creating something special, something that will showcase his full artistic potential, something that might redefine what we think solo K-pop albums can be. What aspect of the third album concept excites you most? Are you ready for another emotional journey with Jimin? Let me know in the comments all your thoughts and theories about what this album might sound like. And don't forget to like and share this video with fellow ARMY who need to hear about these exciting revelations. Keep supporting our incredible Jimin, and remember that the best art takes time. When the third album finally arrives, it's going to be the result of years of thought, preparation, and dedication. Until next time, stay excited, stay patient, and keep loving yourself, ARMY.